Do you have a 1980 Kennedy half-dollar lying around in your coin jar, drawer, or maybe tucked away in an old wallet? If so, don't be so quick to ignore it. That ordinary-looking coin might just be more valuable than you think. Yes, that 1980 Kennedy half-dollar could actually turn the tables for you. So here's the deal, if you've got this coin, stick around till the end of this video because we're diving deep into what makes this coin special, what factors determine its worth, and how you can actually sell it for profit. But most importantly, at the end of this video, I'll tell you exactly how to find its value and how to sell it. You might be surprised at how much it's worth. Let's get into it. The Kennedy half-dollar has been a part of American currency since 1964, minted in honor of President John F. Kennedy shortly after his assassination. It replaced the Benjamin Franklin half-dollar and became a beloved coin almost immediately. Initially, the Kennedy half-dollar contained 90% silver. But starting in 1965, the composition changed due to rising silver prices. From 1965 to 1970, the coins were made of 40% silver. After that, from 1971 onward, the Kennedy half-dollar was made using a copper-nickel clad composition. Now, the 1980 Kennedy half-dollar falls into that non-silver era, meaning it's made from a copper core with a nickel outer layer. However, just because it doesn't contain silver doesn't mean it isn't valuable to collectors. Sometimes condition, rarity, and even mint errors can elevate a coin's value dramatically. The 1980 Kennedy half-dollar is particularly interesting for a few reasons. First, it was minted during a time when the coin was still in circulation, but usage had dropped significantly. Many people had already stopped using half-dollars in everyday transactions by the 1980s, which meant fewer coins were actively circulated. Here's what you should know about the 1980 versions. 1980p, minted in Philadelphia, no mint mark. 1980D, minted in Denver, D mint mark. 1980S proof, minted in San Francisco, S mint mark, and only available in proof sets. The Philadelphia and Denver mint coins were made for general circulation. But the 1980S proof coins? Those were never intended for your pocket change. They were made for collectors and came in sealed sets, usually in pristine condition. Even though the 1980 coin is not silver, there are other things that make it desirable, especially if it's uncirculated, proof, or features a mint error. Now let's talk condition, one of the most important aspects of coin value. Coin collectors use the Sheldon grading scale, ranging from poor, P1, to perfect mint state, MS70. The higher the grade, the higher the value. Circulated coins, these usually have scratches, worn details, and general wear and tear. A circulated 1980 half-dollar in average condition may not sell for much above face value. Uncirculated coins, MS60 to MS65. These coins were never used in circulation and have no signs of wear. Even basic uncirculated examples can fetch more than $1. High-grade uncirculated, MS66 to MS68, now you're talking serious collector interest. These coins are rare in the wild and usually come from sealed rolls or mint sets. Proof coins, PR65 to PR70, the 1980S proof coins, especially those graded PR69 or PR70, can command decent prices, especially when still in their original packaging. So if your coin looks shiny, has strong luster, sharp details, and no scratches, you might be holding something a lot more valuable than pocket change. Here's where things get exciting: mint errors. Sometimes, coins leave the US Mint with flaws that turn out to be collector gold. These errors are not supposed to happen, which makes them rare and highly sought after. Some errors that have been reported on 1980 Kennedy half-dollars include: off-center strikes, the design is not centered on the coin. Double dies, where parts of the design appear doubled, especially on the date or lettering. Planchet errors, where the coin was struck on a blank of the wrong metal or thickness. Clipped planchets, where a part of the coin is literally missing due to misfeeding. If you suspect you have an error coin, don't try to clean it or alter it. That could reduce its value significantly. Instead, get it checked by a professional coin grader or a reputable coin dealer. Let's talk real numbers. I checked multiple listings on eBay, and here's what people are actually paying for 1980 Kennedy half dollars. Circulated 1980p and 1980D coins, around $1 to $2. Uncirculated coins, MS63 to MS65, between $3 and $10 depending on the seller and coin condition. High-grade examples, MS66 and MS67, these can sell for $25 to $80 or more. 1980s proof coins, PR69 and PR70, between $10 and $40, sometimes higher in sealed sets. Era coins, these vary wildly. Some listings show off-center strikes selling for $100 to $300, and one double die coin listed at over $500. But here's the catch, prices change constantly. eBay values fluctuate with market interest, grading trends, and demand. That's why you should never assume your coin is worthless. Okay, so you've got a 1980 Kennedy half dollar and you think it might be valuable. How do you sell it? Here's what you could do. Local coin shops, quick and easy, but might offer less than online buyers. eBay and online auctions, more exposure, more profit, but also more competition. Facebook Marketplace, OfferUp, or collector forums, these can work if you know your audience. Coin shows and collector meetups, great for rare coins or rarer coins. But remember, before selling, you should get your coin evaluated. Know its condition. Research similar listings. Be clear about shipping and returns if selling online. Many people overlook the Kennedy half dollar because it's no longer common in pocket change. But did you know that the US Mint still produces it? It's true, though you won't find them in circulation often. Millions are minted every year, mostly for collectors and special sets. The 1980 version, however, holds a special place because it was still part of the circulating coin era. In 1980, the U.S. Mint produced over 63 million Kennedy half dollars in Philadelphia and about 33 million in Denver. While those numbers sound high, most of these coins were used in daily transactions, causing wear and reducing their condition, which is why finding high-grade examples today is harder than you think. Here's a cool fact: the Kennedy half dollar was originally intended to replace the dollar coin altogether. But its large size and declining popularity made that dream fade fast. The 1980 coin represents a moment in time where the coin still had purchasing power and public attention, unlike today where it's more of a collector's item than functional currency. The 1980s proof Kennedy half dollar stands out because it was part of a time when proof sets were really gaining collector momentum. These coins were minted with special dies and polished blanks, resulting in mirror-like finishes. If you've got one of these in its original government packaging, you're holding something much more desirable than pocket change. Coin collectors are often drawn to specific years due to nostalgia. The year 1980 was a pivotal moment in U.S. history. It was the end of the Carter administration, the beginning of the Reagan era, and a time of economic transition. This adds sentimental value to coins minted that year, especially those with pristine detail and visual appeal. Interestingly, the Kennedy half dollar has always had a strong symbolic value. It wasn't just about replacing the Franklin design, it was a tribute to a young president whose life was cut short. Many families in the 60s and 70s held on to these coins as memorial keepsakes, and even in 1980, that sentiment lingered. When talking about grading, one term you might come across is full bell lines, used more with Franklin halves, but Kennedy halves also have a detail standard, sharpness in Kennedy's hair and clear separation in lettering. The sharper the design, the higher the grade, and the greater the value. You might be wondering, what if my coin is a little scratched, but it's still shiny? Good question. Eye appeal matters a lot. Even if a coin isn't perfect, a bright, attractive look can still attract buyers, especially if it's free of deep dings or ugly spots. Some collectors love raw, natural coins over slabbed ones. While silver is a huge factor in coin value for earlier years, post-1971 Kennedy halves like the 1980 version must rely on condition and uniqueness to be considered valuable. But here's the twist: many people mistakenly think all half dollars are silver. That confusion can work in your favor when you're selling. eBay is full of surprising listings, and while many coins sell for $1 or $2, it's not uncommon to find graded 1980 Kennedy halves going for $50 to $100 if they're MS-67 or better. The key is finding buyers who care about registry sets or high-end grading. What's a registry set? It's when collectors try to build the best possible set of coins from each year and mint. The higher the grade, the more points they earn in their registry, and that can create bidding wars. If your 1980 Kennedy is top tier, it could be worth more to the right buyer. There's also something to be said about low pop coins. This means very few exist at a certain grade level. If your coin is among the few MS-68s ever graded for that year, it becomes a hot commodity, even if millions were originally minted. Quality beats quantity in the collector world. Error coins are especially exciting. One famous type is the off-metal error, where the coin is struck on the wrong planchet. While rare for 1980 Kennedy halves, a few have slipped through over the years. If your coin feels too light, has a strange color, or unusual edge, get it checked. Another rare find is the clashed die error, where parts of the coin's design appear faintly where they shouldn't be due to a die collision. These errors can be very subtle but are fun to hunt for and often sell well online, especially when verified. If your coin has deep luster, clean surfaces, and strong strike details, don't assume it's worthless just because it isn't silver. Serious collectors are always looking to upgrade their sets with higher grade examples of regular issue coins. Even if your coin isn't a rare variety or error, there's still value in holding on to coins from transitional eras like the 1980s. Over time, coins once seen as common become more collectible, especially when younger collectors enter the hobby looking for vintage US currency. Think about how few people saved half dollars from 1980 in pristine condition. Most were spent, rolled, tossed in banks.